is us. A dude I can't trust, cause he not like us. My heart can get black as the moon, black as the melanin in my skin. I'm still healing from wounds, so no, forgive me if I say that I can't help but choose violence on the daily. I'm him, I refuse to lose, so don't make me repeat it again. When I reunite the culture, the vultures are not impressed. Dropping bombs on them like I'm obsessed. Kill them off with no emotion, like I got a hole in my chest. I'm the king and I'm taking the crown back to the west.
Come again, you the king? Nah. You need to turn your sound down. Putting rap on your back. Please. You just snatching crowns now. You know my big bro cold. Could've beat your ass around town. But I'm the wolf at the door, so you dealing with me now. Why they came back around? Cause this boy got a loud mouth. He got the bag now, but that's nothing to brag about. Sound blast in the background, in the cut like I cut pounds. You in uptown, I'm from down south. I smell fear like a bloodhound. Why the hell your drawers looking so brown? Put that crown down, I'm liable to crash out. If they don't give me mine, hit you with my streamline. Send my 50 times. The crown ain't yours, but yo, I can't blame you for trying. Big bro showed us the way, and now I'm making sure I'm next in line. Y'all think you're deep. I need the crown like I need to breathe. I need respect, I got people to feed. I get that W by any means. Of course, a king, I do not disagree. But understand I'm out of your league, enough is enough. You think you up next? Please, I roll you up like I'm smoking some trees. Make me too mad and I'm making you bleed. If they try running, I'm breaking their knees. I made them fall like some autumn leaves. I'm not the king yet, but I'm planting the seeds. I mean what I say and I say what I mean. I do not stutter, there's no in between. If I enter the ring, then I'm making a scene. Then I'm making them scream.
If y'all got a few problems, I feel bad for your son. I got 99 problems, but being a bitch ain't one. Rock Nation Empire, blueprint in the vault. Every brick I flip turn to gold, that's all I know.
Whoever putting money on my head, they surviving. You ain't getting rich off me, but homie, you could die trying. I'm the undefeated king of queens, getting straight dubs. My bulletproof vest about to be covered in your blood. If you talk smack, get clapped, diced up and slaughtered. Y'all, you looking kinda pale, need some vitamin water, dog. He the prophecy, you don't know what's on the line. Ignoring signs, just summon the destruction of space and time.
Give a damn about your prophecy, you ain't seen what I saw. The Illmatic Oracle, been him since 94. Most critically acclaimed, my style second to none. You talk about kings in the presence of God's son. I hear you prophesize, but do you see the big picture? I pen scrolls and shadows where the street lights flicker. Flow like hieroglyphic scripture, make the weak hearts quiver. Eyes flow so cold it'll make Lucifer shiver.
Here we go, shaking stadiums, the shady spit this flow. Do they know? If you piss me off, I'll go ballistic, bro. These kings looking like bozos. I'm wondering if I should snatch that gold. Hell no, that's just a joke. What's a king to a rap guy, yo? Shady the siege of the 8 miles in my jutsu, ain't no need for combs. Get so close, I'll lose my shit and carve my name onto your bones. We use my comatose, believe I'm not here to save souls. I'm going in until I know the prophecy wanna fall as fuck old.
Hello. It's Saturday night. You know what that means. It is time, once again, for the Kamen Rider ZEZTZ-udan, the only show that talks about Kamen Rider Z. Maybe not the only show, but the only show from the future. It talks about what's happening about Zets in your area. I'm, of course, your host, Callsign Hinch, your favorite mercenary with the kicks, coming to you live from the year 2026. How's everyone doing tonight? Episode 19, episode 19. We are going in with a bang, ladies and gentlemen. We are possibly on the verge of yet another great lore dump from the lads over at Toei in regards to what's up with Zets, what's up with Code, what's up with Nox and the lady he's working for. Like, what's that dealio? What's all that about? It feels like we're about to get some lore. And that's what we're here about, some lore. We want some lore dropped on our craniums. That's what we're here about. That's what it's all about, baby. The lore. Have you fathomed the lore? Because, you gotta fathom it, baby. So I hope you guys are ready for the show. We are starting in about 7 minutes, more or less. How's everyone doing on the red site? How's everyone doing on the purple site? I hope you both are having, up on either end, you're having a wonderful night. I hope you're having a good one, and I hope you're ready. Where we last left our heroes, pretty much we found out that the person that Baku's dream is a friend of Nagumo's from high school. And pretty much, they have been drafted in the dream world to a game of death. Pretty much the only way to win the game is to kill the monster, to kill the nightmare. But it's not the nightmare that we saw at the start of the show, right? Because they showed us a serpent, like seraphim-like nightmare. But we don't see that one. That's a different one that we get later on in the show. So it's like, what happened there? And then on top of that, it comes to be that this friend was set to be an agent of Code. So we're going to find out what her dealio is tonight. Rank your favorite Reiwa series openings. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I had to put Saber at the top of the list. Because here's the thing, you might not like Saber, but y'all can't debate that ska opening is not gas. It's gas, man. It's great. So Saber definitely on the top. 0-1 right after it. Gav was up. I'll put Gav right after. Geets. Actually, no, hold on. I take that back. We'll put. Let me go back. Saber 0-1 Zets. Gav. Geets. Revice as the last one, because Revice's theme always feels weirdly disjointed to me, and I don't get it. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's weird. Like, it's having like an identity crisis. Yeats also seems to have an identity crisis, but not as bad as Revice's theme. Like, it doesn't know what it wants to be, right? Like, both of those themes don't know what they're meant to be. So it's a whole dealio. But yeah, that's my quick rank in there for those who asked. But yeah, we are less than 5 minutes away from the big show. Let me go ahead and slap this in the chat. Main Toku shout feed. All right. I'm gonna pin that. There we go. So if you guys are not already on the main, feed, if you don't have that up, get that open now, because we are just a few minutes away. I can't pin stuff in here. Super weird. Makes no sound. Enjoy. We hope you enjoy the show. Yeah, it won't let me pin things in my own freaking chat. It's super weird. So say goodbye. How do you do anything in this? Like, this is super weird. How does one pin things on the purple platform? I don't know how that works. I keep forget. I know there's a way to do it, but I forget how to do it. Because it's like not. I don't want to say non-Euclidean, but Why is this so counterintuitive? All right, 2 minutes left. Let's go ahead and head over to the cinema. Let us begin, shall we? The movie theater, our hallowed halls of cinema, where we see nothing but absolute bangers. Bangers, yeah. So are we ready, ladies and gentlemen, for a damn good time? Are you ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this. Are you ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this. I do not believe you are ready for this. So say goodbye. Ooh. All right, 1 minute left. So, what's the big reveal gonna be here? What's gonna be the big reveal, I wonder? That's gonna be the $1 million question today. What is going to be the big reveal? What's the big lore that we're getting here? Like what is happening here? What is happening? I think we are ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just waiting for the countdown, and then we shall unmute. I cannot play the sound right now because they're playing the intro theme and it's copyrighted. I've already gotten a few videos nailed by the theme, so I gotta mute. Inserts anytime I can for the sake of keeping the videos up. So I haven't checked. I don't know if that last copyright strike I got on me has been rescinded. I have to double check. I haven't had a chance to look through it. All right, here we go. His name is Yorozubaku. He's an agent. That's what he does. He's here to defend the comrades. Must learn again the darkness within code.
Defend the comrades.
I just... The knowledge was erased. Yep.
高校卒業と同時にあらゆる人間関係を清算して、私はコードで活動することになった。
Oh, 3 was behind it.
敵対する組織に私の存在を嗅ぎつけられて。
The enemy organization blew her cover?
組織からも解雇されて。
She was number 6.
だからナイトメアはエージェント時代の記憶を思い出させるような悪夢を見せていたんだろう。仲間がやられた。夢とはいえ見たくない光景だ。
ああ、早くデスゲームを終わらせないとな。
ナイトメアとの戦いには慣れてるようだな。
He is. He truly is.
俺が蹴りをつける。
Right off the bat. So I love how they just hit us with why she knows everything right off the bat. So they're actually mentioning the enemy organization, but not by name. They're just saying an enemy organization. So we're pretty much, by that logic, we can determine that that lady is running a rival organization, an enemy organization, but to what end? What are the means here? Like, what is all this have to do with code? Like, because clearly it's not just a rival organization. This enemy organization knows something about code and is trying to erase them because of it. Because clearly they've got Nox believing that there's something wrong in code. So, and then code erases her memory because her identity got leaked. So then what happened? Right? Like, what's the big reveal here? Because it now feels like maybe they're targeting former agents. That's what it might be. I don't know if that's the case, but it definitely feels like there's something going on. And we still don't know why they hate code. We still don't know why. Like, that's the big one that we think we need to know about. The secrets of Baku and Nem are coming up. Interesting. But I'm wondering, like, how are they going to, like, throw in those secrets in here, you know? Oh! That was a mistake. Oh, God! Ooh!
クレアの言う通り、やっぱり戦うしか。南雲さん、待って。
And she's gone.
どうしてこんなことに。
Nox? Hey, how'd I call that?
やがて蝶となり悪夢は巡る。すべてはお前自身の深層心理が招いたことだ。
Wait, what? This was brought forth by her subconscious mind. Whoa! Wait, what the fuck?
ここは私の深層心理。
Okay, the plot thickens.
まさか。
The plot thickens. Where that lady is hiding out is in Nem's subconscious.
隠れてないと危ないよ。やっぱり私も戦う。ダメ。私とナスカは住む世界が違うから。何言ってんの？仲間でしょ。違うんだよ。
Hmm. Oh, he's gonna confront 3.
クレアがコードのエージェント。
組織に記憶を消され、解雇されて、第二の人生を送っていたそうですが、ナイトメアに狙われたことで、少しずつ思い出しているようです。
クレアに会いに行ってきます。
I wouldn't do that.
言ってどうする？
わかりません。でも放っておけない。
お前に何ができる？
彼女が本当にエージェントだったとしても、今はやりたいことをやって生きてる。 今さら危険な目に遭うのを黙って見てください。
それでも公安か。
彼女がエージェントだったなら、そんな危険が一生ついて回るのは100も
Ah, Fujimi speaking reason. Hold on.
俺に任せてくれませんか。同じ高度の人間として話をしてきます。
でも
兄を信じてくれませんか？
Oh. Okay. We've actually not seen her directly interact with with Nagumo yet. At least not in that way, you know? Didn't even have to say a word. She knows what's up.
ここならいいでしょう。聞きたいのはコードのこと。
俺たちが通っていた塾はただの学習塾じゃない。あの塾はエージェント養成施設。そこで俺たちは夢の中で戦う訓練を受けていた。そうだろう。
ドリームラーニング。
Oh,
組織はそう呼んでる。
that's what the
い
organization
ずれ
calls
訪
it.
れるナイトメアの脅威に対抗するために。
道理でエージェントの夢ばかり見るわけだ。エージェントへの憧れは組織に植え付けられて、
Oh.
そうやってコードは何も知らない子供だった俺たちの
God, that's gotta suck.
人生を変えた。
Knowing that your love of something was a lie. That's gotta suck.
セブン、あなたはなぜエージェントを続けているの？
夢主を救いたいから。
それが本当にあなたの心？それもコードに植え付けられた使命感じゃなくて。
Oh, conflict.
俺は何を信じれば。
Uh-oh. Don't.
最近何度も悪夢を見るんです。
This feels like a setup.
心が乱れている証拠ですね。
心？
ご職業は何を言える範囲で大丈夫です。
She caught herself on that one.
ちょっと特殊な仕事をしてまして。
その仕事はバクさんの人生の何%を占めていますか？
This is like, you know it's a setup. You're just sitting here and like,
子
what?
供の頃から考えるとほぼ 100% に等しいと。
その仕事が心に悪影響を与えているのは間違いない。
She's just rolling with it now.
でも見て見ぬふりもできない。自分の心にまっすぐ向き合ってみてください。
The feeling though is odd
人
though.
生は一度きり。
You only live
人
once.
生はあなたのものだから。
Ooh. Ah, mental suggestion. Yikes.
そうで
Yikes.
すよね。
Ah, this bitch. Ah, this bitch.
どうぞお大事に。
Oh. Interesting.
あいつの心は操れなかったようだな。
面白い子ね。もっと苦しませて引きずり出してあげたくなる。コードナンバー7のおぞましい悪夢を。
This is just getting weirder and weirder, man. My guy, why are you in the field? What the heck?
クレハさんと何かあった？私は信じてるよ。バクなら何とかしてくれるって。
He's like again. We find him in a moment of conflict. Are you really gonna fall asleep in that position, my guy?
本当の俺は誰だ？
私も。
お。
わからなくなっちゃった。
ねむちゃん。どうした？
ナイトメアは私の深層心理から生まれてるかもしれない。
え？
だとしたら悪夢は私のせい。ずっとみんなの夢の世界観に寄り添った気になって。
They both had their worlds
みんなを
flipped.
幸せにしてた気になって。ごめんなさい。
謝るな。君のせいじゃない。
もう終わりにしないと。
Oh shit! No! Hey! Whoa! Whoa!
自分
Whoa!
でまいた種は自分の手で。
Okay, I misread that completely.
ことはさせられない。
I misread that completely.
みんな君に幸せを待ってる。朝起きて今日も一日頑張ろうって元気をもらってる。俺もそうだ。悪夢がやってきてもそれ以上の夢を叶えればいい。
He's saying that, but I feel like there's still going to be a conflict in him, you know? Moreover than saving people, like, Nem is still his priority. So I feel like he's still gonna, like... He's still gonna, like, what's the word I'm thinking of? He's still gonna have his own doubts about it, but he said that to try, like, make her...
クレハは一人にはできない。私たちずっと一緒だったから。
戦う覚悟は決まったか？本気で行くぞ。
Oh, Jesus! Break his knees! Come on! Uh-oh. Oh! Thought he was gonna go for the double choke slam. Wait, what? Where'd you get the ball? Oh, shit! Had me going there for this. Like, where'd you get that more bullets?
高度に操られた哀れな末路だな。安心しろ。お前たちの無念は俺が晴らしてやる。
高度に報復する気か。
永遠に眠れ。もう悪夢にうなされることもない。
Wait, what? Oh, no, 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 no. Wait! How does that work? With the save, because you know he was gonna.
真実を知ってもなおコードに服従する気か。コードの何が正しくて何が間違いなのか今の俺には判断できない。ただ一つだけ確かなことがある。
There's that resolve, baby!
人に悪夢を見せて苦しめるお前たちは間違いなく俺の敵だ。
Plasma!
Plasma.
I'm on it. Here's you.
Strike! Right there! Here we go! Wait, where'd you come from? Oh. Sometimes you forget that reality doesn't mean jack shit here. Ah, Rubik's Cube. Nice try. I love it. Okay, we're going back to the mind melding abilities, to the not mind bending, I should say. There we go. Oh, the sword? Whoa, great sword! That's new? Bad, worst mistake you could have made! I'm sorry, have you thought putting playing cards in front of you would be a smart idea? Did Blade and Decade teach you nothing? So these two are just living in them subconscious.
セブンを見くびっていたようだ。
まだ仲間意識が残ってたのね、モクス。
No. Or maybe he does.
セブンを止めることだってできたのに、組織が憎めど。エージェントに罪はない？
奴らが本気でコードに組みするなら話は別だ。
そう？
Interesting. What are we implying here?
学校も生徒も元通りになってよかったな、ラスカ。
はい。
っていうか、おい変わってないな。もう少し笑えよ。
Oh, right in the nads. Let's go.
クレア。私が今まで追ってきたブラックケース、 警視庁公安部開示課南雲ナスカ警部補に託す。
Wait.
また私の前からいなくなるの。やらなきゃいけないことを思い出したから。
Wait, so she might be coming back then. We may be seeing her again.
私も戦います。開示課の捜査官として。
いい顔になってきたな。
Again, why did you think that was smart, Fujimi? Why? Wait.
セブンにほだされるとはな。
すべてを思い出した以上、私に選択の余地はありません。
今後、コードは君の安全を保証しない。大義にその身を捧げる覚悟があるならば、君にミッションを与える。コードナンバー6。
Damn, it looks like Nem might not be the female writer after all. Holy fuck! Nem is not the female writer after. Oh, that's a bummer.
いざ冒険の旅へ。
あの子たちを救いたい。
お前本当にナイトメアか。
コードに命を捧げる気なら望み通りにしてやる。
裏切り者に明日はない。
That's wow, that's crazy, man. So okay, let's dissect this. Let's hold on. Let me get over to the. So let's take a moment here to try to understand what it is we're dealing with here. So the way it's, hold on, when did that turn off? I just realized my, hold on, my webcam shut off. What the heck? Why you do that? Hold on. What? Did it, oh, there we go. Okay. There we go. All right, perfect. All right. Anyway, so let's take a moment to try to understand what it is we have just witnessed. So it looks like the rumors were true that someone else is taking up the mantle of female writer this season. Now, that sucks that it's not Nem, but that doesn't mean it's not going to ultimately be Nem. You know what I mean? Like, but it looks like we are being set up here to see another female writer. We've been set up, but it's not going to be Nem. But even then, I can't even say she's a full-on writer because it looks like by the preview, it's going to be another Nox Knight situation where she has a sweet suit, but she's not a writer per se. She is a knight. So that's the whole thing. But the biggest thing we're finding out is that Nem, that we kind of what we already knew, the nightmares are coming from Nem's subconscious, and that seraphim-looking motherfucker is the cause. By the looks of it, either that or it was just happenstance that we happened to see him early. There could always be a number 8. I feel like maybe they would set that up for the end, right? Like a number 8. I feel like that's how they would set up, because 7. When you think about it, ZEZTZ is the 7th writer, right, of the Reiwa era. So I feel like they would set up a codename number 8, and it would just be the next writer in line, but it wouldn't be. It'd be, I don't know how to explain how they do it because I don't know how they do it, but it definitely feels like number 8 is just going to be, oh no, I'm not an agent, I'm just the next Kamen writer or something like that. But We now know that Nem subconscious is where all of these monsters are coming from, but at the same time, like, even at this point, Baku is now. Do you notice in the spy movie posters the agents are numbered? Yeah, yeah. Though it is kind of crazy to think that his love of secret agents was imposed on him. That's my big thing, because it doesn't look like all the other previous agents had that implied in them, right? I mean, if you look at 6, her whole life was not about secret agent stuff, right? Her whole thing was, well, from what we know, was photography mainly, right? And then, like, she was dedicated to the agency, but it never, like, seems to establish in the dream that she was, like, a big fan of secret agent stuff growing up, so we have no way of knowing that. On top of that, we don't know anything about 3 either. Episode 1, 0, and 7. But the way it seems is that ultimately there is. I feel like Baku is going to be a cut above the other agents. Like, I don't think that, like, he is, like, true. Like, I feel like he is. Scuff, I'm code number 8, Kamen Rider. No, you're not. My boy, you're letting your dream world take over there a little bit, man. Wake up. We're in the real world right now. The show's over. We're here in the real world. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Sorry, I had to do that. But like, the big revelation that Nem subconscious is literally where the monsters are coming from. And at the same time that pretty much Baku was indoctrinated from a young age to be an agent, you know? That's probably the big things that we came out here. That his love of secret agents didn't come from him. It came from code. So now, what do you do with that now? Like, you now know this, and clearly that's not a conflict that he's over, right? Because as it stands right now, Nox's big deal is that he's trying to convince Seven to get away from code. That's the big thing. The lady, I don't think, has the same ideals. I think the lady is just fucking with him, right? I feel like he wants to get him away from it, but I think in her mind, she just wants to break him, right? Nox wants to get him away from code, but that lady wants to, like, break Seven. That's like her whole thing by the looks of it. Both their goals are kind of aligned, but he just wants Baku to live Nox just wants Baku to live a normal life. But this lady wants to break him. And I don't know what she's expecting to accomplish. It could be that possibly she thinks he'll be a great nightmare generator too. I don't know if that's the logic there. I don't know if that's the thought process. You think Nox won't hold back anymore? No, he will. Because here's the thing. It was that what he said right there at the end. As long as he's not actively fully a part of code, right? Because right now they've got him doubting himself. So for all intents and purposes, even right there at the end, he said he doesn't know enough to be able to judge if code is on the right or wrong side of history. All he knows is that he is here to stop the nightmares. He's here to stop the bad dreams. That's his thing. But as far as we know, he's not, like, fully dedicated to code right now. Like, because right now, that revelation that he is just kind of stuck, right? Like, that revelation that all of this is, like, was implanted in him, that's making him doubt his own existence, right? In the dream world, or his own residence in code. He's not fully dedicated to code. He's still working for them, but he's not fully up for the cause. So I think the I don't want to say the counter indoctrination, I guess you could say, that Nox is trying to do is going to continue. He's not going to continue it. He's not going to attack him outright at full power unless he pledges full allegiance to code. In that case, he dies. But right now, as long as there's doubt in Baku's heart, Nox won't hurt him. That's what I'm getting from this. I mean, Baku's capsims are all his nightmares, so he's making a shitload of nightmares. Yeah, exactly. So I could see that lady wanting to harness his power and put him down like Nem, right? Literally, like, have him in the back pocket as a generator of nightmares. So I could see that being the case. But ultimately, oh yeah, yeah, there were icons there. But here's the thing, is that at the end of the day, like right now, there is a seed of doubt. And while he doesn't know who to believe, he still believes in fighting the nightmares, which is what keeps him going and what has enabled Six to come back to the fray. But here's my thing. I don't, and I could be wrong about this, because I get this weird feeling they're not hard dedicating to making her a writer. They're making number 6 a knight. So, and not to mention her suit is just the Nox Knight suit recolored. So they're not dedicating themselves, like they're not committing to her being the tertiary writer. If anything, it feels like she's going to die soon. Like she's going to die for the cause because now she's back in it, right? And it feels like it's going to be, she's not going to be here for long. I don't know if Nem is going to be the end goal again at all, but this Agent 6 doesn't feel like she's going to be here for long, you know what I mean? Because clearly she's looking for something. And I think she sees being part of Code again as a means to an end. Right? Because again, she entrusted a black case to Nagumo. So at that point, she's off pursuing something. She had forgotten what she was doing this for, and now she remembers. You hope she stays? I mean, the thing is, though, they got to make her a full writer. They can't make her a knight. Because at that point, like, you kind of invalidate it, right? We didn't consider Nox a Kamen Rider until he got the spin belt. But here, this one, like, she's just using Nox's suit recolored. That's it. There's nothing unique about it. So it's kind of like the ride players from Kamen Rider X-Aid, like the generic grunts that were all just brown and shit. That's what this feels like to me. That's what her role is. She's like, I don't want to say she's a lower level, but I want to believe that, like, definitely, like, they're setting a hierarchy that, like, ZEZTZ is top dog. He is the one true writer. So these other writers that are coming around ain't. They're just kind of like, and I hate to say cannon fodder. She is a lord instead of a knight. But see, that it's following medieval hierarchy. She is not a writer. She is a lord. So that doesn't really fly there. You know what I mean? It's like, because again, Nox Knight was just there, right? Nox Knight wasn't like fully committed, right? And then we got Kamen Rider Nox, and now, like, yeah, that's the Kamen Rider, man. That's him. So ultimately, what's going on there is that these are not full-fledged writers, right? Which leads me to believe something, right? And it goes back to what Zero says, that he is the one true agent. And that is that, why is his different from others? Nox was a knight. 6 is going to be a lord. But ZEZTZ doesn't have that. He stands out above all other agents. They're not, they're quote unquote writer forms. His does not have a medieval hierarchy, does not have a title. It's just ZEZTZ. So something about him stands out above these other quote unquote agents, which leads me to believe that these are not truly agents, in that what Zero said, you are the one true agent, like, it's literally him. He's the be all end all. That's it for him. Like, I don't think there are agents 8, 9, 10. There are no agents that come after that. 7 is the last one, and he is going to be the only one. Because at the end of the day, 7's going to be the one to fix everything. ZETZ is going to be the one that fixes everything. So ultimately, we're kind of in this position now that we still don't know anything less about the evil organization, but it's clear that Six was in contact with them at some point. They found out who she was, and she was compromised. To the point that right now, Nox and our mystery lady could actually put Seven in that same position. They know who he actually is. Right? And to make matters worse, as far as we know, 3 does not know that the PSB and Baku's sister knows about his identity. They don't know that, apparently, because it's never been brought up. Right? Which tells me that 0 never really let on that these people know his secret identity. So then why did 3 need to erase 6's memory because her identity got found out? Right? So, like, well, what's the dealio there? And that also adds on to the question, erase is kind of a shit power, isn't it? Because if it took all it took was a nightmare to make her 6 remember who she was, right? And then on top of that, like, and Nox using it, like, people still powered through it. 7 powered through it. So erase is just kind of shit overall. It's not that great of a power. It kind of sucks when you think about it. It's not permanent. That sucks. I get it. It's like a plot contrivance where they fix it. It was a different erase though. No, I think it was the same one. It just looked darker because of the lighting, because it was in a garage. I think it was the same. But even then, like, that is such a super shit power if it's not permanent. But regardless, it's like, was that creepy skeleton face on the death game Nightmares? What was that creepy skeleton? I think the wheel on his face was just a mask. Maybe. The pixel art was different. Was it? But yeah, but even then it doesn't combat my point. Because whether it's Nox's erase or 3's erase, they're both shit. Because 7 ended up remembering the indoctrination. He ended up becoming an agent. And 6 powered through that erase and now is back to being an agent. So, yeah, erase is kind of a shit power. It's like, it's so dumb. Why the fuck is it here? You know, like, what's the point if people are going to power through it? The whole point of it is that they can't. Yeah, for memories it isn't good, but for fucking up people in reality it's top tier. I mean, it can erase physical objects, so that it has that going for it, right? Because it did erase the original capsims before Baku just pulled them out of his subconscious again. So there is. Zero didn't power through it. I would argue he did. Because here's the thing. That portal that appeared in the first episode was him finding his resolve. He powered through the nightmare because he truly believed he was a secret agent. And by doing that, powered through, made it through the portal, became ZEZTZ. Right? Remember the 6 Nox did in his first night fight? I don't remember. I genuinely do not. I genuinely do not remember. You see, can't remember the fight. Can't remember the capsims. All the capsims. No, I don't remember that dodge. If I'm being honest, like I remember the fight, but I'm not gonna remember the exact choreography. He messed with the actual fucking frames. Did he? God, I don't remember that. That was a while ago. It's like what? It was like 7, 8 episodes ago? No, 6 episodes ago. No, 7 episodes ago. So that was a while back. So he also changed the time of day. Here's the thing, though. I don't think that was a race. I mean, did he spin a race and then do that? Because otherwise, I just think it's their innate dream manipulation powers that they get with the suits. Right? Because it's the same power that the nightmares used to affect the world, you know? So I think it might be that. So unless he spun the capsule before that, I don't think that was an erase thing. I think that was just a product of the suit. He did with the other time stuff. I mean, for the time when it would make sense because he did actually erase hours out of the day, which I guess makes sense in the dream world. But it does beg the question, are the days shorter now? Because he did that? Because if it happens in the dream world, it happens in real life. So, you know what? Honestly, I was afraid that they would get away from the manipulation stuff, so I'm glad they went back to it. It shows that, like, they're cognizant of the concepts that they introduced, but, like, they don't want to rely on them too much because I guess they have a budget to go through. But they do it in a way so that if we see it, right, it means something. So right now, like, this felt like a pretty heavy episode here. So it's good that they keep with the theme. Right? And sometimes it is subtle, like the curtains. Like, it is certain, like, it is subtle. I do like the subtle ones more, but, like, there's a place for the in-your-face ones, and here we saw it in this episode with the spikes coming out of the ground and stuff. So I think, like, here it was really well done, but I do like the subtle ones. I do like the subtle ones too, because you don't think about it in the moment. Like, if you hadn't have said it, I probably wouldn't have thought. I probably wouldn't have thought about, like, oh, the fact that he opened reality to make curtains. I probably wouldn't have thought of it. How's Baku gonna get his barrier cap? The same way he got recovery back. He's just gonna pull it out of the capsule machine. Because that's what it is. That's just what it is, you know? Like, it's clear that, like, you can't fully erase a capsule. You'll just find it back when you find that emotion again. Like the infinite corridor and the stairs loop. There's people that tell me in that first sequence, in the first episode where he's running, that the nightmare is actually hiding out in bits in the background as he's running. But I keep looking around and I never see it. So I don't know if that's truly the case. But regardless, like right now, we're at an impasse. We're not an impasse. We're at a crossroads. With Nem, he just kidnapped Barrier. True, but remember, he kidnapped a recovery last time, and Baku got it back. So it's not that, it's just, so he'll just get it back. But now we're at a crossroads with Nem as she realized what her thing is with the nightmares. And now Baku is starting to realize that, yeah, there's some shady shit going on at Code. So, like, ultimately, he is just finding, it's like they're both at a crossroads with what they're going to do with their lives. Or in Nem's case with her sub-life, because her subconscious life. We only got 2. I'm actually amazed they haven't shown up again. I just feel like it feels like the way they're setting this up is that they've already hit max power level, which feels a little odd, don't you think? What happens to Nem when everyone is awake? She's still out. But the thing is, I don't think they've ever clarified that. They've never clarified what happens when everyone is awake. But the way I see it, someone is sleeping somewhere in the world. So Nem is just going to go to whoever's asleep. I don't think her power is limited to the dreams in Japan. You know what I mean? I feel like she has a worldwide reach. If you want to get, like, super, like, not skeptical. Spectacle, not skeptical. I'm not sure if skeptical is the right word. If you want to get down to the dregs, like, I feel like her powers function on a worldwide scale. Maybe you'll get a Kubica type thing. The upgrades to capsums. I mean, I can see it, but the problem is I feel like that might be a bit too convoluted. Because here's the thing. People data mine the belts, right? So if that was to be a thing, there would be like a voice line that would point to such. But it looks like the capsums just exist in solitude. They just exist on their own little thing. I don't think there's unless I become a new power up, then I don't think so. right? I do feel like Plasma's probably going to evolve in some way, shape, or form, because I feel like, if you want me to give you like a straight up like a straight up interesting take, when Baku triumphs over his fears, Plasma will evolve into something else. Also, I gotta say that the Lord belt actually looks kind of cool, but I hate that they're reusing the Nox suit, because it's got these little like things on them that look like bullets, you know? I feel like that would be cooler, but you're just reusing the Nox suit, which is kind of stupid. But it is what it is. I'm starting with red, getting blue, green, then purple. And you have a power-up that uses lightning. So yeah, I feel like Plasma will probably be the only power-up that evolves, and that becomes his mid-game power-up, you know? Like, I guess in a way it could be like a hazard power-up, but as far as we know, it's not taking a toll on him to use it, so it's in a weird place. But I feel like if he were ever to triumph over his own fears, then yeah, that would definitely become a mid-game power-up. I don't see it being an end game. An end game, I feel like, would be something else, right? But it would be definitely be. I feel like Plasma would become, ultimately, will evolve and become a mid-season power-up. You know, I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. So what are we left with now? We're left with Baku and Nem at a crossroads with their existences, right? 3 is, we know much less about 3 than we did when he was introduced. He's just kind of there. And on top of that, the evil organization, apparently they know it's an organization, but they still don't have a name. Nox is with them, and they clearly want to break 7 in some way, shape, or form. There is a way to change the cover of the ZETZ driver, so maybe it's a special cover. There is? I mean, is it like user friendly, or do you actually got to unscrew the belt to slap that on? Because if you got to unscrew the belt, then I don't think that's what it is. You know? So I don't know if that's going to be what truly is the case here. But regardless, right now we're just getting into what is ultimately Kensei. It's user friendly? Oh, okay, maybe. They did it to Knight Invoker. So this is a Lord Invoker. Which, again, why have these weird non-writer modes? It's super weird. Like, I don't really understand it, right? Because, again, either this, because I feel like this chick is going to become, I don't know, I still feel like Nem's going to become a writer. I feel like it's going to happen for Nem, but now it's like we got to wonder, how does that happen? Right? Like, how does that happen? Because clearly you need an organization to have the belts. Because, like, you just can't fabricate one out of thin air, you know? So how does Nem get a belt? That's the question here. But I mean, it also doesn't stand. It also can stand to fact that that 6 is going to become a full-fledged writer, not just this Lord thing, not just going to be a Lord. I mean, so it could be either or if you get right down to it. But right now, we've just been thrown an interesting little wrench into the system. There's now a third party. Well, not a third party, but there's definitely a third entry into this little duo, as you say. Because we have ZEZTZ, who's kind of like on the fence. It looks like 6 dedicating herself fully back to code. And then you got Nox, who's dedicated to the evil organization. So this is now an interesting little trio we've got going on here, an interesting little triangle that we've got. So it begs the question, where do we go from here? Where does the story take us from there? Because now there's people on either side. And then there's one guy who's kind of on one side, but is doubting everything he knows in Baku. So, like, ultimately, it's just kind of like, where do we go from here? What do we do? Right? Where does the story take us? And I think that's something that we're going to find out. I don't really have any speculation because going through the preview is not really much you can jump through on about. We are going to see the Lord Invoker next episode with 6, but ultimately, whether she's going to become a regular character or if she's just going to be here for a few episodes and then get killed off, well, that remains to be seen, right? But right now, like, big mysteries have been revealed, but we still have so many questions overall. Like, what is the end game here, right? And I know it's weird to ask that when we're like only 20 episodes in and we got like 30 left, but we are reaching the halfway point. We are starting to get close to the halfway point of the series. So you got to ask yourself at that point, what's the end game here? What is this all coming around to? Like, what is it, right? And you got to wonder, like, where does the story go? Because at this point, we don't have established, like, a true evil organization, right? Because the way I see it, this lady ain't unhinged enough to be the be-all, end-all, right? There's something off about her, and, like, she seeks vengeance, but she doesn't come off as very evil to me, right? So there's something off there. There's something bizarre about it. I don't even get a sadistic vibe from her, right? Even when she's saying like she wants to break 7, she still feels incredibly tame, and I don't know why that is. I feel like, I don't know, it's just weird. I don't know how to phrase it, but it's definitely like there's a lack of twistedness. She says she wanted to torture Baku. No, in our translation it said she wanted to break Baku. So maybe the translator thought break was, they just translated to torturar. But no, but in English it said she wanted to break him. But the way she's carrying herself, it lacks a certain twistedness that you would get from a Kamen Rider villain. I think maybe they're just trying to be subtle with it, but it feels like something's missing. So she doesn't really give a vibe of the big bad, of the BBEG, the big bad evil person, right? The big bad evil girl. Like, she doesn't give that vibe. She definitely has beef with Code, and I'll grant you that, but I don't think she's the be-all, end-all. And it goes back to what Knox said about the nightmares are just tools. So this lady could just be using nightmares as a means to an end, when in reality, the nightmare menace is bigger than they think it is. I definitely feel like the big bad evil character is going to be like a mega nightmare. Like, it's going to be like a monster in and of itself. I don't feel like this lady is going to be the final boss. I feel like there's going to be another final boss after her. That's my takeaway on it. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, because that's me guessing. And that's literally what this show is about. It's about guessing. It's about discussing ideas. It's literally what this show for. The ends justifies the means, as they say. I mean, all you got to do is open your eyes. Open your eyes for the next fives. Because ultimately, what we're dealing with here is still very much a gray area. We don't know what's coming next as fans. They're not letting up too much. They're not letting us in too much on what the future holds outside of what might affect the next couple of episodes, which is a great way of doing it. Drip feed it to us, right? Drip feed us the lore to keep us engaged, but don't outright just make the ending obvious, Takahashi seems to have a knack for that. So far we're in a really good place when it comes to the show. And I feel like right now we're getting a twist thrown in with this new agent. And ultimately it's going to be a question of allegiance. What does Baku just decide to walk away? Does Baku continue to fight for Code? Or does it become kind of an outlier? Like he's treading the line. Like, not enough to get fully away from Code, but not enough to fully call himself an agent of Code. You know what I mean? Because clearly now at this point, he's kind of operating on his own beliefs. So at least in a way. So I feel like either he's going to either I feel like he might just be like, okay, the best way I can describe it. In GoldenEye, and I make a comparison to GoldenEye a lot, but GoldenEye I feel like is literally the best example of this. James Bond in that movie has to straddle that line in order to find out who the double agent was. Because I think even at some point they do disavow him. MI6 does disavow him. So literally he has to take it into his own hands to figure out who the double agent truly was. So ultimately, like, at this point, it's a case of Baku not committing because he's trying to find out as much as he can. At least that's what it feels like to me. That's what it feels like to me. But it could be wrong. I could be misreading this. I could be inserting my own thing. But we're also finding out real quick about Baku's that he can't be mind controlled, right? When we saw that scene with the doctor, she couldn't affect her. She couldn't affect him. So clearly there's something about him that even Baku doesn't know. And I think it's something that even our evil lady knows and wants to make use of. And that's why she's so intent on breaking him, because there could be a greater power there. But ultimately, this is all tying together, but not in a way that we can fully tie it together, if that makes any sense. We're only working with bits and pieces here, and it's just enough to keep us going. So, on that note, I think we're going to wrap it up here, folks. I do appreciate y'all coming out to the Kamen Rider ZEZTZ-udan every Saturday night that ZETZ is on, 8:15 Central, 9:15 Eastern. So I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I hope y'all enjoyed ZETZ, but hopefully I hope you enjoyed this discussion. If you did enjoy it and you have further theories, when the VOD goes up, leave it in the comments. I always check the comments, whenever I can anyway. But more often than not, I check them pretty often. So if I get a comment, I will always check. Give me your fan theories. Give me what you want to see in the show. Like, let me know what's going through your head. Let me know what's going through with y'all. I do appreciate y'all tuning in. To my Twitch people, hold after the thanks for watching, because we will raid out. But to my YouTube peoples, thank you so much for coming out to the ZEZTZ-udan. I will be here tomorrow for the number 1 Sentai ZEZTZ-udan, the final battle between Gozu Tirano and Gozu Leon, as we make our way towards the finale and only a few weeks away. We're gonna ride this gravy train to the end with Gozuger. So even if you're not liking Gozuger right now, or you've sworn off it since the Maya stuff, I still would encourage you to come on down and watch, because ultimately this is a make or break time for Super Sentai. So by all means, I would hope you come down, watch the show with me, and we'll see just what is coming down the pipeline. Until then, I will see you guys tomorrow. I believe I have it to 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central for the number 1 Sentai ZEZTZ-udan. If not, I will see y'all next week, as usual, here on YouTube and Twitch for the next edition of the Kamen Rider ZEZTZ-udan. I love y'all. Take it easy. Remember, the future is yours, and yours alone to seize. Grab it. Seize the future, baby. I will see you all next time. Until then, I love y'all. You're valid. Peace out.